Can you tell us about your family tradition?
Yes, I can. My family on my mother's side came from Portugal. They came from the Azores. So the Azores are a series of islands off the coast of Portugal, 900 miles off the coast of Portugal in the North Atlantic Ocean. And my mother's family came from the island of Flores. And that means flower in Portuguese. So I think it must have been an island that was very beautiful with lots of flowers on it. And they were all fishermen. Everybody that lived on the Azores were fishermen. And they fished for big fish in the Atlantic Ocean. But this was like over 100 years ago. My grandfather's name was Anthony Gonsalves, and he was a fisherman. He fished with his father and his uncles in these big boats, and they fished for whales. Now, nowadays, it's against the law to fish for whales, but 100 years ago, lots of people fished for whales, and that's what he did. But I think there wasn't a lot of money. I think over time the fish kind of dried up in the Atlantic Ocean and there wasn't as much money to be made from fishing. So Anthony wanted a better life, and so he decided to come to the United States to see if he could find some work fishing in the United States. So he got on a boat and he traveled a long, long time from the Azores to New York City. And he came into the United States on Ellis Island, like all the immigrants did 100 years ago. And they came to Ellis Island and they signed their names and they registered and they became United States citizens. So when Anthony did that, he moved to New Bedford, Massachusetts, where a whole lot of fishermen lived at that time, and there was a big fishing industry. So he worked there for a while and he made some money, and when he had enough money, he went back to the Azores and he found a wife, and her name was Anna Diago. And Anna and Anthony got married, and he brought her back to the United States, to Massachusetts. And I don't know how long they lived there, but eventually they moved from Massachusetts to Reno, Nevada, clear across the United States. And Anthony started farming outside of Reno. And that's where my mother was born. And her sister, Anthony had two daughters, Margaret and Evelyn. And Margaret was my mother. And when she was little, the family moved again to Oakland, California. And Anthony found work house painting. And that's what he did for the rest of his life in Oakland. And that's where my mother grew up. And there was a big community of Portuguese people in Oakland, and that's where they lived.